I'm going to try to take off the blue tape. I'm going to use an X-Acto knife or this knife. I put a new blade in, and I didn't find it to be all that easy to reassemble, just the box cutter knife. I'll do it very slowly, and I'm not in any rush, because it could definitely be a disaster, but trying to take that tape off, it'll also be a disaster if I don't cut that edge there, because I was varnishing over on top of the tape. Got the blue tape off of the one side, and most of the blue tape off of this side. I see what happens when I sand it, but I don't know what's going on down here, what that is. But I'm going to flip it over. It took me a day to get this tape off. It's definitely on there very well, and of course I had to be very cautious when I was cutting it. Now, I didn't spend the whole day working on it, but I'm about to flip it over a day later than when I worked on this. And I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to sand it. I'm going to steel wool it without any tape on there and see what happens here at the edges. The second side of the first board came off easier, as far as I'm talking about the blue tape. And yeah, I don't think time is an issue anymore. I just realized that I have another week before I go back out to the boat, so I'll have plenty of time to get plenty of coats of varnish on here. But my concern, or my thought process, is I still have a little blue tape in there. I think I'm going to scruff it up, put new blue tape on, and then let the varnish dry a little bit maybe, and then take off the blue tape. So I'm going to take the blue tape off every single coat that I put on. It should be easier because I don't have to wrap the tape all the way around this brass or bronze edge. I only have to put it on one edge. And so I'll have plenty of grip of the remaining tape that is probably more than the thickness of the edge right now. But before I do that, I will definitely scruff it up, see if I can clean off the varnish from the brass edging. But that was one board, and now I have another board to do both sides. So a total of 8 edges need to be removed, and I will be starting on the next one today. I got the blue tape off of the edges, and I'm definitely going to scruff it without the tape on it, but then I'm going to varnish it with the tape on it. And I see I missed a whole bunch right there, and kind of underneath the slot there. And got a lot of scruffing to do today. I got most of the blue tape off. If that doesn't come off with steel wool, then I'll go back in with the X-Acto knife. It's a very precise and precision work. All right, so I've scruffed it up. Removed the blue tape, scruffed it up. The next phase is the cheesecloth or the tack cloth. Clean it off, and I might see some other issues, so I'll take care of that when I put the cheesecloth on. And then after that, it's time to put another coat of varnish. All right, it's the next day, and so there's no blue tape. I stopped the video, went to get the blue tape for the edges, and noticed that I had taken all of the blue tape out to the boat. So I had to buy some more. All right, got the tape on it, looks good. I think this is a much better method. I'll put the varnish on, and I'll remove the tape. Let it harden up, let the varnish harden up maybe for an hour or so, and then boom, take the tape off. All right, got the varnish on. It's definitely getting thick, and there's some film inside the can, so it's good that I'm using the filter, but I think in the future I definitely have to thin it down because it's just too thick now. So we'll take the dog to the dog park. When I come back, I will see what happens when I remove the tape. I'm not sure if I already showed the tape on here, but I'm getting ready to cut the edges with a box cutter between the board and the tape, and take that tape off. Gotta be very careful not to touch the varnish. Okay, all right, so the first one, edge here, I did try to cut the blue tape at the edge of the blue tape, and they didn't do a very good job, so there's blue tape in there now. So I said, all right, let's just try to take the tape off without cutting it. And oh my gosh, that was the smart way to go. So if I were to start this over again, I would take that blue tape off every single time after I varnished.